There's little obvious on the familiar Chicago vista today to portray the extraordinary events that have taken place here. To get a sense of things, you have to look a little closer on the streets, at the smiles on the faces, the bounce in the step of the people in the city's African-American West Side.
Anything's possible. That's what it means to African Americans.
It's the single most proudest day of my life, other than my children being born. It was a proud day in America.
He said what was needed to be said. It's time for a change and the economy of this country. That's what got him elected.
They had watched with pride as Barack Obama made history every step of the way. His was the longest, the costliest, the most grueling race ever. But in the end, only one record matters. He is to be the country's first black president.
If there is anyone out there who still doubts that America is a place where all things are possible, who still wonders if the dream of our founders is alive in our time, who still questions the power of our democracy, tonight is your answer. It's the answer spoken by young and old, rich and poor, Democrat and Republican, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, gay, straight, disabled and not disabled, Americans who send a message to the world that we have never been just a collection of individuals or a collection of red states and blue states. We are and always will be the United States of America. It's been a long time coming, but tonight, because of what we did on this day, in this election, at this defining moment, change has come to America. There will be setbacks and false starts. There are many who won't agree with every decision or policy I make as president. And we know the government can't solve every problem. But I will always be honest with you about the challenges we face. I will listen to you, especially when we disagree.
Enveloped by the heightened security which will now dominate his life as president, Obama reached out to the rest of the world.
And all those watching tonight from beyond our shores, from parliaments and palaces, to those who are huddled around radios in the forgotten corners of the world, our stories are singular, but our destiny is shared.
They had been desperate to witness the moment. And when it came, they cried tears of joy in Chicago, tears of incredulity and relief. So many had barely dared believe this would come to pass. But today, they watched as one president handed the baton to the other.
No matter how they cast their ballots, all Americans can be proud of the history that was made yesterday. Across the country, citizens voted in large numbers. They showed a watching world the vitality of America's democracy and the strides we have made toward a more perfect union. They chose a president whose journey represents a triumph of the American story, testament to hard work, optimism, and faith in the enduring promise of our nation.
Obama had fought to the very end, worried that the optimism, the hope, the investment of millions would be dashed. But they came out for him, turning vast swathes of America from red to blue, Republican to Democrat, and turning election evening into a depressing post-mortem for John McCain and his overwrought running mate. The self-proclaimed comeback kid had failed to live up to reputation, but he was gracious in defeat.
We fought as hard as we could, and though we fell short, the failure is mine, not yours.
Complacency had been the great fear of the frontrunner, but this was no close call. Obama's historic victory had been assured by a healthy margin.
For every time that Barack has spoken about red states and blue states, we've all understood that he meant black people and white people and red people and yellow people and the United States of America. I think for the first time we're going to experience that in a way that we can only have hoped for.
See, to feel the joy and the hope and the vitality, to see young America come alive, that's a big deal. And I think so much tonight about this joy and the mothers and marchers who really made it possible.
This is a moment which will be seared into the minds of millions. In years to come, they will ask, where were you when Barack Obama pulled it off? Where were you when America chose a black man for president? Tens of thousands can say they bore witness at first hand in the city of Chicago, where the extraordinary political evolution of Barack Obama began, a journey which will now take him to Washington and into the history books. Michelle Clifford, Sky News, Chicago.